Okay, so the question in this class is, where do I start? All right, very simple question. Where do I start with OET speaking? All right, and the answers, well, I'm going to give you more than one answer. I'm going to give you some tips and advice. I've been teaching OET for a long time, so I'm going to give you the most important things that you need to make sure you start doing now if you're starting to study OET speaking. But you know, even if you're not starting, these are very, very important tips. If you're not doing them, make sure you start doing them now, okay? So the first one is you should learn the format of the test. Make sure that you're comfortable with the fact that you have, for example, 3 minutes before you start, okay? And then 5 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then 5 minutes. What can you do inside those 3 minutes? Make sure you know the format of the test. Make sure you know what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do as well, okay? Can you write on the cue card, for example? Make sure you know. I will tell you the answers in this course to those questions. By the way, you can write on the cue card, okay? So that's the first one. Learn the format of the test, make sure you know it well. The second one is you need to build your fluency, okay? So build fluency. So in this course, I can't teach you how to speak fluently, right? Fluently just means speaking without hesitation, not stopping and starting. That's not really an issue with grammar or vocabulary or knowledge. Fluency is all about practice, so you must find someone to practice with. Either join our school, or for example, you could just go online and find another nurse or doctor who's also practicing OET. There's loads of Facebook groups, for example, with people who work together. So make sure you find someone to practice every day, OET cue cards. That will improve your fluency, okay? The next thing is build your confidence, okay? This might sound like a silly one, or this might not sound very important, but actually it's very, very important. I get so many of my students saying, I'm not very good, or I say, how did you think that mock test went? They say, oh, it was terrible, right? And then we go through it, and it's not terrible, right? Human beings always focus on the negative. It's natural to focus on the negative things about your speaking, like, I don't think my vocabulary is very good, my pronunciation is not very good. Build your confidence up. List the things you're good at, okay? Because confidence in the exam, it shows, right? If you're saying things quietly and with no confidence, a bit like this, it doesn't help you in the exam. You need to be going into that exam like a nurse, like a doctor, right? Hello, sir, how can I help today? Nice to see you again. How are you doing at the moment, all right? First today, I would like to talk about this, and then we can talk a little bit more about your medication. How does that sound, right? All that kind of stuff is very, very useful for OET speaking. Build your confidence up, okay? The last point here is going to be practice with interruptions. Okay, so what do I mean by practice with interruptions? Practice with interruptions? Does that mean stop and have a cup of tea halfway through your mock test or your cue card? No. What I mean is, when you're practicing, make sure the patient interrupts you. All right? Or practice that. Because very often I find when people are practicing together, for example, 2 nurses or 2 doctors, they're very nice people. So the patient will be very obedient, right? And will not say no very often, and will not, importantly, interrupt the doctor or the nurse. Unfortunately, the exam might not be like that. You might get lots of interruptions, okay? So you're talking, you're saying, okay, sir, so I would like to talk today about your and then the patient starts speaking, right? How are you going to deal with someone interrupting you, talking over you, okay? Practice it. There's many ways you can deal with a patient who's interrupting. The main thing is to respond to them, listen to them. If they've interrupted you, maybe they're angry, maybe they're upset. You need to listen to that and respond to that. I'll talk about that in later videos, but that's a key thing. Practice with the patient interrupting you. So to finish this video, I just want to say there are 4 important things that I've spoken about today. The first thing is learn the format, okay? The second thing is build your fluency, get a study partner. The third thing is build your confidence. Don't be, shy when you go in there. Feel confident, write down the things that you know you're good at, for example. Okay, and the last one is practice with a patient who interrupts you. An angry patient. Practice with an uncooperative patient, someone who doesn't really play by the rules. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Hope it was useful, and I'll see you